Good morning, Ms.Munn here with Anchor and Rose Apothecary for Munnday Musings. So today I'm in beautiful Windham, Maine. I've been house sitting for some friends, and the sun is out after the April Fool's huge snowstorm we had here in Maine. So today on Munnday Musings, I'm going to talk about receiving and being open to receiving and what that looks like and how you get into receptive mode. So I thought about this topic. My word of the year is receptivity. So every year I create a word of the year. So this is a word to carry me through the year and to sort of fall back on. Last year it was trust. This year it was receptivity. So what I wanted to do is make myself more open to receiving, right? So receiving in a number of ways, receiving the energies around me, receiving maybe gifts other people want to give me, receiving signs from the universe, right? So the universe is always giving us little signs or synchronicities. So being open to that and open to receiving what's coming my way. And thinking about this term, I've actually had to be really mindful the last couple of months and really open to how I receive and how I may be blocking receiving. So I've been playing around with this, we're the end of, we're actually, April 2nd now. So I've been playing around with this for about 3 months. And what I've learned about receptivity or being open to receive is just that. You need to be open to receiving. So the first step in being open to receiving is being grounded, right? So you need to be grounded. And what does that look like? So it looks like what we've talked about a lot. It looks like getting enough sleep. It looks like exercising. It looks like eating well. It looks like having good friends and family. It looks like having fun, right? So if you're doing all of these things in your life, you're grounded, you're happy, you're secure in yourself, then you're more open to receive. You're more likely to be able to receive those things that are coming your way. So the first step of being open to receiving is being grounded and taking care of yourself. The second step, which I've had to be very mindful about, is how do you block yourself from receiving? Right? So I've been kind of like a curious observer within myself and with other people the last couple of months. And I've noticed little ways that we block receiving. So it could be something simple as you're going out, you're in a coffee with a friend, and your friend says, "Oh, no, I got that. I'll pay for it." And you're like, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. I can pay for it." Right? So this person is offering you a kind gesture. And in essence, you're blocking it. You're blocking that receiving, right? And the thing about people giving is I think people love to give, right? We get a sense of value. We get a sense of worth. We love to help other people. We love to give. It shows our kindness. And so, in essence, with these small little ways, if you're blocking them, it's kind of like, what message are you sending to the universe for bigger things to come your way? If the small things you're like, nah, no, thank you, right? So it could be something simple. What I notice sometimes I do is like if somebody's like, "Oh, I love your dress." I'm like, "Oh, this thing. Oh, well, yeah, I guess I got it at Goodwill for like $7." So like I kind of like poo-poo their compliment, like kind of like maybe I'm not worthy of it, or like, "Oh no, this dress doesn't deserve a compliment because it was only $7." Instead of saying, "Oh, well, thank you so much." In the dating world, I've also noticed this, that within myself and others, like when I watch other people on a date and the one individual offers to pay and the other person says, "Oh, are you sure?" Right? Instead of just saying, "Oh, thank you." And in the dating world, if you want to pay, you could. But sometimes people, they have had a good day, they're feeling a repertoire, and they're like, "Let me do this," you know? And yeah, a lot of people, don't receive that. It could be something as simple as like somebody letting you in traffic and you're like, "No, go ahead." Or somebody holding open the door and you're like, "Don't worry, I'm too far away," right? And sometimes it is awkward. Like you're like really far away and the person's holding open the door and you're like running to get to the door. But right, so there are these tiny little ways that we block receiving. And what does it mean to receive? What would that look like to be able to receive in your life without feeling any guilt, feeling any shame, feeling any unworthiness, right? So receiving and kind of saying in your head, like, "Thank you, more please." So what I've been doing the last couple of months is when people send compliments my way or somebody offers out of the kindness maybe to do a nice gesture for me, or if people are offering anything in any way, I've been opening myself up to receiving. So instead of feeling, because sometimes I feel guilty, or sometimes I'm like, that's way too expensive, or that's way too much time, or just these things we get into our head. And it's like the person wouldn't offer if they didn't want to, and they're offering because it makes them feel good and out of the kindness of their heart, right? And sometimes I know within myself, I'm a giver, so I love giving. And sometimes I have given too much of myself, too much of my time, too much of my energy. And then, you can get a little ornery and be like, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. They don't recognize me or what I'm doing. So you come up with these stories. But on further reflection, what I've realized is I was giving so much, but I wasn't open to receiving, right? So the laws of giving and receiving, it's kind of a balance. So in order to give, you also need to be open to receiving. And when you're open to receiving, it doesn't feel like a task, or doesn't feel hard to give, because you're receiving as well. So you're giving somebody something and they're receiving that, and vice versa. People give you something and then you receive that. So it's kind of all about the balance. So, what I've noticed in my 3-month experiment is the more I open myself up to receiving, the more good things come my way, right? And I feel like it's kind of like law of attraction, and kind of those people where you're like, I don't get it. Everything always works out for them. Like, what's their secret? And the secret is they're open to receiving. The secret is that when good things come their way, they say thank you. They're full of gratitude, and then they're open for more surprises that come their way. So, today's lesson, what I would like you to take away from this is, first observe, are you grounded? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you open to receiving? And then look at the micro ways that you may block receiving. That you may, when somebody's trying to be kind, being like, no, I maybe don't, like, I'm not worthy of this, or I can't receive this. And just kind of the little ways you block that flow. And then look at how you're giving and seeing, if there's an imbalance between giving and receiving. And what I found, like I said, is the more that I've been opening myself up to receive, the more I've been able to give, the better I felt about giving people something, because I feel recharged, I feel energized, I feel in balance. So today, I hope you not only give, but you open yourself up to the wonderful ways of the universe and the little things that come your way. I hope you all have a beautiful day. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Maine. I love you all so, so much, and I can't wait to see you next Monday. Okay,